is to the pleasure of Supreme Lord Vishnu. This system is still, son is non-devotee of the Supreme Lord. He is just like a blind eye, a source of trouble. A physician may sometimes advise the extrication of such useless eyes from their sockets so that one can be relieved of constant trouble. Duryodhana was exactly like blind, troubling eyes. He would be a source of great trouble to the family of Dhritarashtra, as foreseen by Vidur. Vidur therefore rightly advised his son, eldest brother, to get rid of this source of trouble. Dhritarashtra was wrongly maintaining such personified offense under mistaken impression that Duryodhana was good son, able to liberate his father. This instruction is very cardinal instruction to, kick Dhritarashtra out of Yudhishthira's house. The harsh word will be coming. You are living like a dog in the house of enemy just for 2 chapatis? Get the hell out of here. Because your son is not going to be qualified to give you oblations and, he's a source of pain and nothing else but pain. So, Chanakya Pandit says, if a son is not learned, then he is an enemy of the house. 4 family members, he said, they become enemy if Rinakarta Pita Shatru. If the father becomes indebted and leaves the whole burden of fulfilling the debts of others, he will be cursed by his kinsmen to be the enemy of the house. He loses respect right from the house. What to speak in society. So, Rinakarta Pita Shatru. Mata Shatru Vibhicharini. If the mother behaves like a prostitute, then she is an enemy of the house. The third one is Rupavati Bharya Shatru. If the wife is very beautiful, then she will be obsessed in her own pride and prestige and would be very uncooperative with others. So she'll be a source of pain. And Putra Shatru Apandita. That if the son is not learned, then he is an enemy of the house. So parents have the obligation to make the son worthy of his duties towards the parents, towards the society, towards the whole nation. He has a duty. This is ideal. But moreover, if these duties cannot be fulfilled without him being a Krishna devotee. So the first and foremost obligation that the son must lead a life of pure devotion to Lord Shri Krishna, and then he can progress in his subsidiary duties to his parents, his family, society, and all the way up to the nation. But reverse to that, if a son is not educated in pure devotional service of the Lord, his intelligence is remaining impure. However, he may be educated and whatnot, bringing a lot of money or whatnot. So, in Srimad Bhagavatam it says, Yasyatma buddhi trinakupe dhatupe. Tridhatu is kapha, pitta, vaya. If our intelligence is geared only on the body compositions of nasty thing, kapha, pitta, vaya, the whole Ayurvedic system is, and its diagnosis is depending upon what is prominent.
These three elements.
So kapha, pitta, vaya. So this body is composed of kapha, pitta, vaya. So whoever is in intelligence is geared on only on bodily conception of life. Swadhikala pradishu ichatmodi. This intelligence on bodily conception expands. Kalatra means wife, adishu means wife and children, up to the society and up to the national. Ijya Bhavati. Wherever he was born, that land of his birth is worshipable. So he has to sacrifice his life for this. If his intelligence is not purified, Tirtha Buddhi means purified by the association of Tirthan Kurvanti Tirthani. Those who are making a place of pilgrimage are the sadhus, the devotees. And they go to such places where the Lord plays pastimes. So that becomes Tirtha. So even generally Tirtha is where the body of water is there. So the water has to be constantly purified because everybody is dumping their sins. But the sadhus who are pure, they purify the Tirtha. The Tirtham Kurvanti Tirthani. So it is very important that such person whose bodily conception of life and understanding geared up to the point of sacrificing his life for the sake of his nation, but it is a bodily conception. So, yasyatma buddhi kinupeti tatuke swadhikkalatradishu ichabhavadi yatirtha buddhi salilena kari janeshu abhigyeshu sa eva gokhar. In the association of the learned people, those who are devotees, he is celebrated as the intelligence of having an intelligence of cow or an ass. His intelligence is purified by association with the sadhus. Intelligence is purified when you chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. No work is said to be good if it is devoid of devotion to Krishna. So, Tirtha Buddhi, Salilena Karkichit. We go to the waters of the Tirtha and put the oblations. In Kali Yuga, there's the Gaya Tirtha, where we say the river was flowing from Satya Yuga to Treta Yuga. But then it went underground. So in Gaya, the river bed is there. It's called Falgu River.
Falgu River. No water.
You have to dig few feet to get the water. So, even the rivers are afraid in Kali Yuga, can't bear the burden of the sinful activities. But those who have some good faith and devotional service to Lord Vishnu, they go. So, this is the situation. Dhritarashtra was chastising directly that you are maintaining a son who is sinful, who is living, ignoring Lord Shri Krishna and his advice. Because he was envious of Krishna. He was looking Krishna only on bodily conception of life. Krishna is the nephew of Kunti, and Kunti is my aunt. Duryodhana was thinking like that. Only bodily conception. While Pandavas were not like that. Dhritarashtra didn't have vision of Krishna even though he was educated, well educated in austerities and all other necessary requirements. So he was blind, but he was also spiritually blind. So Vidur has to do this particular job to bring him to the point of harsh reality, and that he has failed. Vidur is okay. Krishna did not instruct Dhritarashtra directly because of his material attitudes. Like father, like son. So both father and son were avoiding. They were looking him at a relative, a distant relative, not immediate relative. But what's the difference? They can't respect even the immediate relatives like Pandavas. They usurp them. Right? So out of enviousness. So if one is envious to Krishna, he will be envious with everybody. If we are not envious to Krishna, then we will not be envious of anybody. What a great difference is there. So, Krishna is sum total of everything, all creation, creative energies. Those who are of constricted mind or heart or intelligence, the ayam nija, this is mine, paro vikti, that is yours, lagunam lagu chetasam. This is the vision of those who have lagu chetasa, very shrinked or miserly heart. Then this is mine and that is yours. But udar charitanam vasudhaiva kutumbakam, those who are broad-minded. If Krishna comes in our life, Krishna is the sum total, how broad your attitude will become. Universal vision. And universal vision is, whether in good times or bad times, it is there. Arjuna saw at the time of fratricidal war and its outcome, but that's all right. Brahma sees this universal form every day and put oblations to him of all our aggregated karmas from all the lokas of this planetary system. Of one universe. This is Brahma's function. He puts oblation to all the activities being performed under his jurisdiction. So that means the man is also performing activity which are violating So, what is Vidur's foresight is that Duryodhana would become a source of great trouble in the family of Dhritarashtra. Dhritarashtra clarifies, he doesn't hide that you are doing, favor only to your son. No. Spelled out, this is the culprit. And you also pamper this culprit. So like that. It is also the injunction in Srimad Bhagavatam about don't become a shelter for your dependent. If you are not going to take care of them, you have no right. What is that? Obligations are there. We generally say putra, pitru, matru, dohitru. Everybody is connected with tra, means liberation. Pavitra. Pavi is the name of hell. Trana, to deliver from this kind of hell, means you are purified. You will never see that hell. But again, those who are interrelated, like father is pitru, matru, dohitru, putri, putra, tra, everybody is connected in the family for the purpose of deliverance from hell. But, Guru na sasyat, swajana na sasyat, pitana sasyat, janani na sasyat, yadyapi namochet samupetyam mrityu. You have no right to become a father or mother, or son, or guru even.
Or demigod.
Demigods even the king. Yadyapi namochet samupetyam mrityu. If you are not able to deliver someone from the clutches of death, you have no right to become. If father misses this, because Kali Yuga, nobody is educated, the Shastra still remains clear, and we are obliged to understand and follow. So then, if the father is escaping from this real duty, then the son has to command for the deliverance of everyone. It's a mutual obligation. If one doesn't have a desire to liberate his dependent, father and mother also are going to become dependent in their old age. But if you have no desire to deliver them, it will not be justified that you send them to a nursing home or old age home. Where is the obligation to liberate and never allowed to be born again in the miserable situation, more miserable situation, because it's ever deepening every time. So whatever we are experiencing, when we come back again, it will not be the same kind of experience, it will be worse. Because this is deteriorating time. So in this way, we say, we have to become qualified, and Vidur chastises his brother, even though his older brother is there. Vidura has wise counsel all the time, but Duryodhana interrupts and disqualifies him. You know. So, but at the risk of doing the benefit, it takes the opportunity when opportune time and situation arises. You know, he is taking this particular chastisement to his brother, to using the harsh words, so he can be knocked off. All right. Anybody has any question?
Maharaj, yes, you said that Guru Nasasya, Janana Nasasya, Vidana Nasasya, no? Devam Nasasya. So, in both ways, the son is also responsible and father is also responsible.
Definitely.
Vice versa.
Why not? Anybody who has come in the human form of life is an opportunity to cross over the material ocean of omniscience. Right? Father, by the culture of knowledge, has the responsibility to deliver his son because he is instrumental to bring him in this material world of hard struggle for existence. So that is the obligation. But if father fails, son has the obligation. It's not only maintaining the body. No. Giving the whole opportunity, so father will never come back in this miserable material world again. That is the kind of provision the son has to make. Therefore, learning is required. Not sending them to schools and colleges, and we are sending them to the slaughterhouses. They will be butchered, their intelligence will be butchered in the universities and colleges. There's a strong message, but it is fact.
But at the same time, they have to learn, as in Ishopanishad said, Vidyaja, Avidyabja. So they have to learn both sides of that.
Why not? You have to have experience of both. Then you have to select. Avidyayam mrityam tirtha vidyayam amritam ashnute. What do you want? Be intelligent. Select. Vidya, not avidya. Whatever we are learning in the Prakriti is avidya. A sharir, avidya. Material is avidya. It will not deliver you from the clutches of death. You will be forced to be reborn. But if you are pious, your devotional service has started, that will accumulate. And you will get proper chance again. But till that time you have to wait, suffer, and don't forget that you don't make a mistake again. So this is the sequential, arrangement that Krishna already made, and it is working. All the instructions which are favorable for the long-term benefit, is Vidya. Rest is Avidya. The 13th chapter of Bhagavad Gita will tell what is Vidya, what is knowledge.
Amanitam Adam Vittam.
Yes, Amanitam Adam Vittam.
Ajvara Upasanam Savacham.
Kaya Vacha. Very nice.
Guru, I have a question from the words that you said. Now it is bad. When we come back, it's going to be more. So when does this thing start?
I cannot hear much. Let's come here.
You were saying now it is bad. When we come back, it is going to be more worse.
Worse.
So the cycle of birth and rebirth, does it ever stop or it just doesn't stop? I understand it's based on the karma that we create, but is there a way not to come back at all?
That's correct. This is intelligent. This is the process. If you understand that na jayate mriyate vana kadachinnayam bhutva bhavita vana bhuya, Krishna tells about our reality, that we were never born, we were ever existing. Or it is not that we will be again coming back. No. You are eternal. And you can't survive in temporary material worlds. You know, you can't survive. It will be like fish out of water. Right? There may be little transitory time, but that's not important. Fish cannot survive. How much enticement you can give to the fish, but its natural status of living is in water. Similarly, the soul has to be in natural state in connection with the Supreme Lord and spiritual realized medium. So that is the internal, because its constitution is spiritual. We are spiritual beings, but we were misled by the bodily conception of life. You know, misled through the misuse of five senses. They were supposed to make us know who we are. So we have to purify those senses by chanting Hare Krishna, and we try to focus that we are not these bodies. We are part and parcel of the Supreme Whole, qualitatively one with Him, but quantitative difference is there. So, through the medium of consciousness, that is Krishna consciousness. Krishna's consciousness is taken as the guide to manage our life, the rest of the life. Krishna asked, how will you remember unless you chant my name and remember? So, it says, Mam Bhaktya, my devotees, Satatam Kirtayanto Mam Yatantasya Dradvrata Namasyantasya Mam Bhaktya Nitya Yukta Upasate. We have to make our life as forever engaged in devotional service. For the time being, we take some hours off for maintaining our, bodies, and if we have responsibility but that's an ideal way of grahasthashram should be spent. But just to execute the order of the Supreme Lord, we can do accept the ideal grahastha, not as a sense gratifier ashram. We are misled. So we have to correct. And by taking up the process which is eternal, it goes with you, all the way, face to face to Lord Krishna. Listening, vibrating, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyan, Sakyam, Atma Nivedanam. These are 9 kinds of our engagement. And we do not miss anything. We celebrate, we joyful, we participate in every, congregational members' interactions. Their problems can be also solved out. At the same time, it's risky. In America, the pastors feel so much pressure because they are giving attention to his congregation. If a congregation is of about 1,000 men, at least 500 people they come in his contact, 50%, and that is also a very good load. because he has to enter into their personal problem and guide them, and he knows some become friends, and there's a big uproar going on in America. The pastors are resigning.
Unable to solve the.
In churches, the pastors are resigning. And we are also thinking that our job is also like pastor. We need some off time, but we are sacrificing spiritual upliftment. That is not affordable. We live for our own upliftment by going silent and helping others.
So his second question is how to avoid repeated birth and death.
That's correct. This is the way, because if your internal potency, which is eternal, why do you have to be coming back again in this material world? Mamupetya tu kaunteya punarjanma na vidyate. Mamupetya. Krishna says, come to me. Sarvadharman parityaja, come to me. Aham tam sarvapapatya mokshayishyami. Because we were papis, we fell in the material world in the first place. Right? Now give up that enmity, give up everything in the human form, and we can understand with reference to context. Otherwise, we were also engaged. He was an engineer, I was a biochemist, and what not? What were you?
Accountant.
Accountant. He is free. He never got engaged in the material life yet.
Prabhu, Guru, when he said accountant, when he said engineer, when you said a biochemist, it's actually nice to hear that. Because
why nice?
No, a lot of people actually say, I'm diabetic.
Me too. Me too.
That's a qualification.
I eat Krishna Prasad and no garbage outside.
I have another two more points to ask you, if you're okay with that. I understand devotion to the God, devotion to Him, and surrender to Him.
Exclusive.
Correct. But then we also have duty to.
You are supposed to perform those duty according to His direction. We fail there.
That's where I'm coming to.
We fail there. But if you see what is the ideal grahastha ashram, that is already given. We might have family, children, everything. But under whose order this ability has been given? Brahma is the first Prajapati, and he ordered everyone subsequent to him. Because the world has to be populated. Why? Because before the annihilation, and Brahma is, having another day, all the bodies were suspended in mind, intelligence, and ego. They didn't have formation to fulfill their desire to make progress. So Brahma was appointed to do visarga in the material conception of life. So the soul, according to the merits, was given the body. 8.4 million species. All right? And then gave everybody a chance. If you are not violator of the nature's law, then you will be promoted to higher and higher realms of consciousness, accorded in different animals and human beings and demigods and demons. Alright? So, but you may go up but slide down also then. So cycle of birth and rebirth is going on. Moreover, our bodies are also temporary. It goes into 6 changes. It is born, it grows, it becomes mature, produces byproduct, dwindles and disappears. 6 changes are there. And a reincarnation within this body is there. How old are you?
54.
54. You divide by 7. Huh?
8 times, almost.
Almost 8 times. But 7 times you have changed your body. Each and every cell has been. That is the medical science tells you. Are you managing your diabetes or difficulty?
No, I am. Where do you find the line between the devotion to Him and the duty to
The entire life should be taken over by devotional activities. Entire varieties. Only thing is that you are not the center of your life. The life giver is the center of your executing the life. And He is sitting in your heart as Paramatma. Witness and allows you to fulfill your desires, but your desires are the cause of your entanglements. Right? So let's hear what are His desires. What is Krishna's consciousness that we have to accept? Because that is a liberating consciousness. It is not allowing us to come and forcefully get rebirth here.
The mind either works on the future or on the past. It's so difficult to bring it to now. How do we do that?
Use your intelligence. Intelligence is superior than the mind. Mind may be strong and you are confused because you do not know the discriminating function of the intelligence. Intelligence has discrimination. What is Sat? Say yes. What is Asat? Say hell with it. Na sato vidyate bhavo na bhavo vidyate asat ubayoropi drashtanta tattvadarshi. If you are seekers of the truth, then you should know that for eternal there is no cessation, and for asat there is no endurance. It changes. Don't trust that it changes. The faith should not change. It should be Shraddha. With intellectual application, that is called Sankalpa. Right? Chant Hare Krishna and be happy. Are you on insulin?
No, I'm not. No,
Then,
I'm fine.
Okay,
I'm not happy.
okay, that's
I'm not
okay.
happy.
Otherwise, I said, I got a company.
No. I was just talking about how people program to say things. So
I have been diabetic since 40 years. You know, it's a family history. But I'll travel and preach, travel, keep on. I come every year.
I saw you last year too, yeah.
Huh?
I saw you last year also.
Okay, good. Because these are all my students and
He's coming from Vancouver.
oh, you are from Vancouver?
Yes.
Where in Vancouver?
Delta. I used to live in Delta.
Then he's moved.
Oh, then you moved here?
I moved here.
Okay. With the family?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I used to go there to Vancouver. Last 4 years I'm not going, but next year I will go. Yeah.
Special Maharaj.
Yeah. Okay.